That picture was taken, that little girl was around 4. For her, the road was way more than what she could see. She believed in people. She believed that strangers were friends and often would go out for walks around the park or the beach with them. Luckily, the strangers that she met were the ones who proved her that that was good in people. She loved to act, to be with her friends. She wasn't very aware at the time, but she was already very harsh to herself. That little girl, since very young, had problems with her own image. But that same girl could not be weak. She needed to love herself so then the other girls that were like her, that didn't feel like they could love themselves, would look at her, see that she didn't care about other people's opinions, and realize that they didn't need to care either. That little girl did not like to be young. She knew what she wanted, and in her eyes, she was ready to be independent. She wanted to travel the road and meet everyone. She was not afraid to stand by her friends if they could not speak up. She wasn't afraid of carrying their weight so then they wouldn't suffer, so then they would be happier. She wasn't scared of taking on a big challenge, and she was not afraid of no's. That little girl turned 18 not too long ago, and she might not be too tall, but she's definitely not a little girl anymore. And yes, that little girl is me. And older me can see and say things that younger me couldn't. A friend of mine came here last year and told all of us the importance of being vulnerable. So this year, I decided that this would be one of my challenges. I wanted to be vulnerable, to connect deeper with people. I wanted to share with everyone the struggles that I was going through, but I was too afraid. I was afraid of people caring too much. I was afraid of people not caring at all. I was afraid of being seen as weak for being depressed or feeling guilty if I decided to just end with everything. I was afraid of my friends not trusting me with their problems because I was the one full of them. And if you're not okay, you can't help anyone else, right? No. I understand you way better than a lot of other people do. 14-year-old me started dealing with an unexpected challenge. A challenge that I don't remember putting my hand up and saying, me, choose me, I want to be part of it. Because it was a big fight against myself. I often imagine people waking up with ease, thinking in all the good things that would happen on their day, putting a smile on their face and going easy. But the reality for me is that most nights I fall asleep wishing to not wake up in the next day. If I could explain to all of you how this process usually goes, it would probably be something like this. It's nighttime, you're really tired, and go to bed. As soon as you lay down, this voice pops into your head. The voice reminds you of everything that happened on the day. Makes you believe that all your friends hate you. Makes you feel horrible about yourself. Your head starts spinning, your hands start shaking, you don't know why, but you can't stop it, it gets worse. The feeling comes and you want to cry, you will not cry, you get angry. You can't really do anything about it because it's already 2 a.m. You look at the ceiling trying to calm down, trying to make yourself breathe normally because at this point it feels like you're running out of air. There really isn't any air. Breathe. Just breathe. At some point your body gives up. You won't remember how, but you are now asleep. Breathe. Just breathe. When you wake up, you feel all the straps holding you down to your bed. The voice comes, tells you to forget about it. They don't care about you anyway, just stay in bed. You manage to just get up and go. You have this bag that is filled with rocks that is attached to you and you can just let go of it. So what do? You put on the biggest smile that you could ever imagine, and by the end of the day, you're gonna be exhausted. But you won't be able to fall asleep again. And when you finally realize the cycle that you're living in, it will be too late, and you won't be able to see the way out of it. That little girl never felt like she was enough. Her body was wrong, her writing wasn't the best, her drawings were okay, She wasn't that good of an actress or a dancer. She wasn't as perfect as her sister or as strong as her mom or even as creative as her dad, but she was good at one thing. She was good at creating masks. She created such a good mask that even the closest people around her could never say how sad and destroyed she actually was. And I'm not here saying that I am not the person that most people see me as. I'm just saying that that's not how I see myself. Because I see myself as someone with okay ideas, but I won't be able to believe on them enough to transform them into actual things. And this year was not different. When I needed to create a project on my own, I didn't even know where to start. At first, I decided that I wanted to listen to really hard stories, those that you feel like someone just punched in the stomach. I guess I wanted to find stories that would make me believe that my pain was nothing and that I didn't have the right to feel depressed. But when I look into the deeper reason, I just wanted to connect and be there for someone in a way that I never felt like someone was there for me. I kept trying to fit into the boxes, all these feelings, stories, deep connections, to create this huge project that would allow me to stand here and say, ta-da! But I was actually in a kerfuffle and I didn't know how to get out of it. So I tried to go back to the beginning. What did I really want to do? To listen to stories, to get to know people, to connect in a deeper level with these strangers that younger me used to be so good at it, but older me was too judgmental towards herself to believe that she could just do it. Someone who spent the last 2 years loving projects suddenly felt they could not put together the right box. I was a stalemate with myself, with no boxes being ticked on the list. With 2 months to go, I decided that I needed to shake myself out of it. This time with someone guiding me. Who am I? What can I offer? What makes me able to stand here and say, ta-da! These questions I've avoided for so long or waited to answer until the air was nearly gone. So here I am, 18 years old, about to graduate, and in the midst of finally finding and saying what I am good at. Well, let's not go too fast. I have always been a very hands-on type of person, so I could do maybe something related to that. Let's put all the pieces together. I am struggling and often felt like I need my own space to be able to reset. 2, I like to connect with people, and because of that, I noticed that I wasn't the only one feeling that way. 3, I like to build things. Oh, come on. How easy was that? In a month, I decided that I would create this little safe space for school, and I was very motivated, but then I wasn't. My mind kept trying to put all these blocks in the way, and I got into the point that I really thought that this project wouldn't come alive. But for some reason, I didn't want to give up again. I guess I just knew the importance of it. This is space that would allow people to come together and just to breathe. I did not expect how hard this would be. I promise you the process takes way longer when you're working by yourself and you have a really hard time asking for help. But let me tell you guys something. Ta-da! This is our new building school, the one that I built with the help of some really awesome people. A space that is supposed to be safe, that if you ever feel overwhelmed or feel like you just need to take your own time to be able to reset and just breathe, you can go there, disconnect of everything and go deeper into yourself. For anyone that might use this space in the future, please take care of it. This is a really important space for some of us. we need to create a respectful culture around here. And you could maybe start by making sure that this space is safe for anyone that needs it. And no, my story is not over. And I am not gonna stand here and say that I'm feeling great or good and that this whole year made me realize X, Y, and Z, and now I'm just filled with joy and happiness, because I am not. But I'm learning that that's okay. And that we don't all need the stomach punching stories. Or we might not feel in the same way that a lot of other people think we do. Or our mornings might have bags full of rocks, but if we are a community, as we say we are, then we must give an opportunity to connect, a space to connect. So perhaps we could all give this moment, this opportunity to connect and breathe and just breathe. So if everyone would join me after 3. 1, 2, 3. Breathe. Just breathe. Thank you.